Good afternoon, gals and guys. Welcome back to another video from Greg's Cars 2408 today. Today, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to show off some well-loved vintage cars that I just recently picked up. These cars look like they may have been stuck in a bicycle spoke, which the old-timers used to do with their baseball cards back in the day. And the last one I'm going to show off is a bucket list card I finally picked up that I got last week. I decided to wait to today to show off in this video. But anyway, I got a few cards. Most of them are in really, really bad shape, creased. I think there's one of them that's been written on. But anyway, all these cards, most of them are actually Hall of Fame players. So anyway, without further ado, I'll get started, and we're going to start off with this Billy Martin card. It shows him as a player. It shows him as a manager. This is a Yankee. I think he managed the Yankees, what, 6 or 7 times? I think it was 7 times, if I ain't mistaken. But anyway, Billy Martin. And I think this is from 1976. All right, next up, we got a Hall of Famer, Tony Perez. Big old stain right here on the right-hand side of the card. Like I say, these cards are in tough shape. But anyway, they're going in my PC. They're not going to be for sale or anything like that. But anyway, this is well-loved Tony Perez. Back of it's pretty clean. Corners are all dinged up. And this is a 1977 Topps card. Next up, we got Jim Cott for the White Sox. That corner right there on the bottom left-hand side is in terrible shape. Of course, all of them are. Anyway, Jim Cott for White Sox. And that's weird looking at that jersey. You wouldn't think it would be a White Sox jersey with the red hat and red lettering on the uniform. But anyway, Jim Cott of the White Sox. Next up, we got a all-star first baseman, Steve Garvey. The back looks in fairly good shape. But anyway, the front of it, the corners are, of course, all dinged up. Like I say, these are well-loved cards. I wouldn't dare send any of these off to be graded or whatever. Next up, we got Gaylord Perry when he was with the Indians. There's the circle mark. I can't figure out why they wrote on this card, but anyway, and there's a stain right there right up under where it says pitcher. But Gaylord Perry, he's a Hall of Fame pitcher. And this is from 1975. All right, next up, we got a New York Mets card, Joe Torre. Of course, I think he ended up managing the Yankees later on, but this card is creased all up. I mean, there's creases everywhere on this card. He looks like he ought to be a member of the Mafia with that look. Look like somebody I wouldn't want to mess with. And this is a 1975. Next up, we got another Hall of Famer, Jim Catfish Hunter, or a crease run right straight down the center of it. Edge, a lot of edge wear. Anyway, like I say, this is well loved. This is probably in somebody's bicycle spoke growing up. Crease comes through all the way through the back. Like I say, this is a 1975. Next up, we got a 1975. This is Roger Maris and Dick Groat. Dick Groat was a two-sport star at Duke University here in North Carolina. But anyway, Dick Groat and Roger Maris. Next up, we got a 1975, 1958 most valuable players, Ernie Banks and Jackie Jensen. Creased right there on the corner. Like I said, all these are going going in my PC, and we'll keep right on to them. Next up is a 1975, 1962 most valuable players with it's like Mark Willis and Mickey Mantle. Too bad this ain't a real 62 Mantle, so I can actually have a Mantle in my PC. But anyway, this will have to do for right now. Like I say, it's got a crease all the way down. It's probably this looks like a prime candidate for a bicycle spoke. And next up, we got Bert Campaneris and Chris Spire. I think this was, I'm not real sure. Probably it's early 70s, I'm sure. And next up, we got a San Diego Padres team card. And, of course, it's all creased up. And looks like they marked out who was on the front of it. It looks like LaRon Lee, Jerry Morales, Dave Roberts, Gary Ross, Daryl Thomas, Don Zimmer, Bill Grief, and Nate Colbert. Anyways, a Padres team checklist. It's like somebody took a bite out of a couple of the corners. Actually, 3 of the corners. But anyway, I didn't give a whole lot for this lot. But anyway, next up we got a Cardinals great Lou Brock. Real bad wear right here on this bottom corner and the top up yonder. Bad centering, stained all up. But it is a Lou Brock. It is vintage. It is an original. And this is a 1973. 1973 Lou Brock. Next up, we got the Say Hey Kid. It's a Playing Days Willie Mays. So you can't argue with that no matter what shape it's in. Anyway, it is banged up. But anyway, it's bad centering on these cards. But anyway, it's a Playing Days 1972 Willie Mays. There's the back of it. The crease runs all the way through the back. But anyway, it's a 1972 Willie Mays. Can't go wrong with Willie Mays. Next up, we got a 1972 card, 71 AL RBI leaders with at least 2 Hall of Famers on the front, and Harmon Killebrew and Frank Robinson. You know, just got some edge wear on it. But overall, the card, this one is probably one of the better ones I had to group. But anyway, it's got the AL leaders on the back. This corner over here is pretty bad, but other than that, it's not in terrible shape. I still wouldn't send it in to be graded, but it's actually one of the better ones I had this lot. Next up, we've got a 1971 World Series Game 7 card. It's at my Orioles. Now, I couldn't tell you who this is, so you guys help me out. It's like he plays for the Pirates. Just help me out if you know who it is. Leave it in the comment section. Anyway, next up, we got a 1972-1971 AL Playoffs Orioles Champs. This card is creased all up. I can't remember who number 7 right there is. I do know that that's number 5. That's Brooks Robinson. But anyway, back of it, of course, you can see the creasing coming through on it. But anyway, it's, like I said, it's going in my PC. Next up, we got a Toland scores for the 3rd time, 1970 playoff game, game number 2. And it's like it's got the box score on the back. And next up, we got Martin's bunt ends deadlock. Game 4 of the World Series in 1969. There's the back of it. This card here is not in terrible shape either. It's got bad centering and a bad corner or two, but this one's not in terrible shape. Next up, we got Hall of Famer Raleigh Fingers of the A's. This is a 1970 card, 1970 tops. Raleigh Fingers. Corners all beat up. All the corners are all beat up. This one here doesn't seem to have any creasing that I can see right off right off the top of my head. But of course, got some edge wear. That top, about top center's got a little ding in it. But this is, I think it's his third year card. Anyway, it's a 1970 Topps Raleigh Fingers. All right, next card, the last card I'm going to show you guys today is a card that anybody my age that grew up collecting in the 80s, this was one of the ultimate chase cards for them. I bought a bunch of baseball cards growing up. I was bought a bunch of baseball cards growing up. But this one card had always eluded me. Now, you know, when I was collecting and I got older, I kind of got out of collecting for a little while. And, you know, of course, I was chasing girls and, you know, got married and, you know, all that stuff. I kind of, you know, give up on cards for a little while. But when I got back into it pretty heavy, I don't know, 10 or 15 years ago, I've always eyed this card, but I've never pulled the trigger on buying it, or I didn't win it in an auction or whatever. Well, I finally won one last week, and it is a 1989 Upper Deck Ken Griffey Jr. card number 1. Now, looking at this card when I bought it, this card here is centered excellent. I don't know if it's perfect, but it is centered excellent. And I could not figure out why it got a 6. But anyway, the back of it's clean and all that. But like I say, this card is almost flawless from the naked eye. But after getting it home and opening it up and looking at it more closely, it seems that there's a little crease right there on that corner that you had to look really hard for. It almost looks like it's part of the cloud in the background, but I think that's a crease. You know, without cracking the slab, I wouldn't know for sure. But anyway, that is the only flaw I can see in this card. The corners are sharp. It's centered really, really good. It's just got a great eye appeal, I think. But anyway, I'm not selling it anyway, so I don't care what it is. I don't care what grade it is. I finally got one in my collection. But anyway, thank you guys for watching today. Give a shout out to Billy Powell, who, you know, called me out on a video he was watching. That was real nice of him. Guys, if you ain't liked and subscribed, please do. Please share. If you have a page on YouTube, put it in the comment section. I'll be glad to give you a follow back. But anyway, guys, that's all for today. I do got some more stuff that I'm looking at. I hadn't pulled the trigger on yet. But anyway, I'm starting to kind of dabble into getting some of my bucket list cards before it's too late. Now, I'm not going to get no Mickey Mantle rookie or nothing like that. But I got some that I got my eyes. I got bidding on one now. I just got outbid on it today, but we'll see how it goes. I may up my bid a little bit just to get it. But anyway, you guys have a blessed week. Thank you for watching. Keep collecting what you collect. Keep being you. God bless each of you. Have a great night. All right, bye-bye.